We're going to be reading Halloween poems tonight. One by me that Joe will be reading because it's shorter. And one by Edgar Allan Poe, which you could probably guess which one it is. Go ahead.
The Raven.
So you guessed The Raven.
Yeah.
One like this guy here.
Careful.
Yes, okay. He does have a tendency to crack at a couple places.
Yeah. Okay, I'm reading The Monster's Dinner. All monsters and ghouls had RSVP'd they would all be to dinner on All Hallows Eve. In formal attire, they would attend this affair. The ghosts in fresh linens of ghastly repair, the goblins with grandiose garb of appear, and vampires in new tatters and tails talk about the list of regales. The children excited to meet their new friends, an old haunted house at the end of the bend. What fanciful fun this fantastical night, all would be honored with harrowing fright. So the cobwebs were spun, the dust newly laying, skeleton catering served, spider egg salad with bat wings and on trays. With appalling appetite, the blood pudding was slurped. Yuck. Then all jumped to their toes for a dizzying twirl of the winged-ding whirl. The monsters and ghouls voted to add their young host to their hideous guild of gruesome goblins and ghosts. The children now live in the old haunted house at the end of the bend, prefer tricks with their treats and their ghastly new friends.
Yes, he said yuck every time he's read slurp the blood pudding.
Yeah.
I am going to be dubbing this because I don't think I did very good. Anyway, this is The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, "only this and nothing more." Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon my floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my book's surcease of sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide my door, darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams so mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. that I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word Lenore. Merely this and nothing more. But back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard the tapping somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what threat thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more. Open here I flung my shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of a saintly days of yore. Nor not to least obeisance made he, nor a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mine of lord or lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon the bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven. Ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore, tell me what this thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marvel this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agree that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculpted bust above the chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, and my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it mutters is its only stock in store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmercifully disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope the melancholy burden bore of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling my sad fancy into smiling. Straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to blinking, fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burnt into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining of the lamplight gloated o'er she shall press, ah, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfume from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, respite, and nepenthe from my memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget the lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home of horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by the heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore. Tell this soul with sorrow laden if, within the distant Aden, it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend. I shrieked upstarting, get thee back into the tempest of the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door, take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door. And my eyes have all the seeming of a demon that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on my floor, and my soul from out the shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Thank you for listening. Poe is not easy to read in this poem. Not all the words are easy to understand because they're of another century. But it's still The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, a beautiful piece of poetry. Okay, we love you.
Bye.
Good night. Here, go share that smile and wave.
Bye.
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 See you again mañana.